everybody. This is Becky Longacre, Nurse Gone Health Coach, and I'm going to be doing a talk on consistency as it relates to meeting your health and wellness goals. So I have been a nurse for 17 years, and my experience has ranged from critical care nursing to psychiatric nursing and behavioral change and leadership. And I've seen, let me share my screen so you can see my slides first off. Share. I'm going to be talking about consistency, the mind, body, soul approach to consistency, and then practical tips for health consistency, even when you're busy. This talk is for busy professionals that want to get healthy and want some time-efficient tips on that. I'm going to talk a little bit about why diets fail, do a recap and summary, and where to go to learn more about consistency for health. Okay, so a little bit about me. By practicing basic self-care, I've lost over 30 pounds. I've been flare-free from ulcerative colitis for up to 7 years. I've healed back pain, and I have mastered anxiety, all except as it relates to public speaking. I'm still working on that one. So over the years, being a nurse, I have identified, the common denominators for those who create and sustain positive habits in their life and they meet their health goals, and those who fail at their health goals. The people that tend to be successful are the ones that can practice consistency. That is the one behavior that must be present in any endeavor, really, whether it's business, health, mindset, or personal development. So what consistency looks like is the person continues to show up even when there's setbacks, even when they're scared or they don't know what to do, even when they know they will never be perfect, even if they need to ask for some help. The people who fail in their health and wellness goals are people that have a hard time managing expectations. They want to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks while making no changes in their behavior. They keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. They're not open to learning, and they cannot ask for help. They underestimate how hard change can be and give up when they run into roadblocks. So if consistency is key to improving health, why aren't we all just more consistent? Why is it so hard to change when it is obvious a change is needed? That's a mind, body, soul question with a mind, body, soul answer. Let's start with the mind. Our brains are wired by neurons. Most of us know this. Something you may not know is that when you create new habits, your neurons literally detach from themselves and reattach themselves to other neurons in a different configuration. Have you heard of neuroplasticity? This is what I mean. The point here is that you can, over time, rewire your brain, reprogram your brain to get used to and even like eating more fruits and veggies and enjoying more physical activity. But it does take some effort to detach the neurons from each other and reattach themselves. This effort is called consistency. So that's part of the mind aspect of the mind, body, soul approach. Let's look at the body aspect of change. When you first change, your neurons haven't reorganized yet. If the change you're working on is getting more physical activity, you have to think about it a little bit more than if you did it every day. You have to think about where to go, what to wear to go to the gym. Where is the gym? Or how do your shoes fit? And are they comfortable? What exercise is the best exercise? And what should I eat? Then you take that first step towards change. You go for a 2-mile walk, lift weights, or start something small, and do some yoga. When you first start working out, you feel sore. You may feel tired, and you don't see results right away. But because you have learned that it takes time to learn new habits, you keep showing up for yourself every day. You start to notice over time the body adapts. I'm sure you've heard of muscle memory. Soon you can not only do the yoga, but have started doing step aerobics or have started jogging. You start to notice that exercise boosts your energy and your mood. You sleep better and can focus better. You may start seeing results in your face, your waist, or how you hold yourself. So your body is starting to take care of you as you take care of your body. Your body adapts. So now you have made changes in your mind by making the decision to get healthy. You have made changes in your body to get healthy. What does the soul have to do with health and wellness? Everything, really. How your spirit is doing through this whole process is going to predict if you stick with it or if you give up. For example, when you start exercise, what is your inner voice saying? Is it saying things like, great job, with an exclamation mark? Or is it saying things like, what took you so long, loser? When you make a mistake and overeat some ice cream, what did your spirit rake you over the coals, or did you forgive yourself, recommit to getting healthy again, and try again? As you go through this health journey, are you celebrating your wins to build on success, or do you only see your mistakes? Can you see how far you've come, or do you only see how far away from perfection you are? I want to make mention how important it is to celebrate wins when getting healthy, because it is hard to get healthy. If it were easy, we would not have an obesity epidemic in America. It is hard. So when you achieve something, even if it's small, if you choose to celebrate it, your brain sets off a shower of dopamine, which rewards you for doing that behavior. This is a key concept in staying motivated. Recognize what you're doing well and stop tearing yourself down for not being perfect. I am a nurse and a health coach, and I am far, far, far away from being perfect. I work on myself every day. The difference is I used to beat myself up for not being perfect. Now I choose to forgive myself, recommit to my goals, and try again. In doing so, I have gotten off 5 different prescription medications, lost 30 pounds, healed back pain, let go of anxiety, all except in the case of public speaking, and have gone into remission with ulcerative colitis. This is a powerful concept to celebrate your micro wins while still aiming for the big win. So how your spirit is doing in this health journey matters, and how you speak to yourself will predict your ability to stay consistent with behavioral change to achieve health goals. So now that I've gotten the really deep stuff out of the way, let's talk about some practical tips you can use to practice consistency to improve your health and wellness, even if you're busy. As a nurse, entrepreneur, master's student, wife, mother, and homeowner, I know what it means to be busy. So practical tips to stay consistent for health, even when busy. Tip number 1, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Find a productive activity that requires movement and stick with it for 30 minutes. Wash your windows thoroughly and vigorously. Vacuum, sweep, wash dishes by hand. I actually tend to burn more calories in just doing household chores than I do in formally working out for 15 to 20 minutes. This is no joke. You can research this. Tip number 2, find what works for you. Don't expect yourself to fall in love with asparagus if you hate it. Don't expect yourself to eat it. Choose another veggie that you like or even tolerate if you add some dressing, and go with it. If you have tried and you can't fall in love with veggies, eat more fruits. Fruits are still plants, and a diet high in plants is linked with a less risk of cancer, heart disease, depression, obesity, and diabetes, amongst other things. Let go of what everyone else is saying and doing, and just go with what works for you with this simple guidance in mind. Eating more plants and drinking more water is in general always a good idea. So think about the sustainability of eating more plants, not for Billy Bob Thornton, but for you, which leads me to my next tip. Tip number 3, have healthy snacks readily available. Buy pre-cut fruits and veggies and have them with you to snack on. Some of us eat out of boredom. Replacing that hand-to-mouth activity from chips to fruits or veggies allows you still to eat out of boredom and consume 1/5 of the calories. Tip number 4, you can get healthy without setting foot at the gym. I personally don't go to the gym very often because I am so busy and I don't want to use my time in driving to and from the gym. So I do step aerobics, I walk my dog, and I've invested in a treadmill to get more cardio in during the winter months without traveling to and from the gym in Maine. Tip number 5, once you find your groove, stick with it. Stick with it for a while. I can't tell you how many times or how many people I've talked to who find something that works for them only to sabotage it by switching to something unsustainable. An example of this is when someone has a goal of exercising for 30 minutes 3 days a week. They achieve this goal for 1 week and they decide they are a triathlete. Then, when they can't meet this higher goal, they throw in the towel instead of choosing a more sustainable goal. Tip number 6, travel everywhere with a bottle of water. By keeping a full bottle of water with you, you will hydrate more often because it will visually remind you to do so. I've been known to have a bottle of water going in every room of my house because I know how important hydration is. The benefits of hydration are big. For example, you have less soreness in general and less soreness after you work out if you hydrate your body. Why? Because you flush out the lactic acid in your muscles when you hydrate. Lactic acid is the chemical that is the byproduct of cell metabolism, and it makes your muscles sore. You drink more water, you flush out the lactic acid, you have less soreness. You will also have less brain fog when you hydrate. Why? Because water is the carrier of our neurotransmitters. Water also gets absorbed into the food you have already consumed in your stomach, so your stomach will be displaced and you will feel satisfied in your eating sooner if you drink more water. I can't overstate how important drinking water is to your overall health and well-being. How much water depends on how tall you are, what your weight is, and whether or not your doctor has restricted you in drinking too much water due to a medical condition. The general rule of thumb is, with a healthy heart and healthy kidneys, 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. That's non-caffeinated water, and that's before you start sweating and working out. Tip number 7, when making a healthy meal, cook 2 to 3 times as much as what you'd eat for that day, and put the rest into portion-sized containers to bring with you to work or have as leftovers, also known as meal prepping. This will save you the temptation to go through the drive-thru on busy days and will also save you time in cooking. Tip number 8, park your car away from the store or building you intend to enter. If you do this several times per day, your step count will increase without adding much time to your day. Tip number 9, do 10 squats or lunges every time you use the bathroom. No, not when you're using the bathroom, just after you use the bathroom and behind a closed door, just do 10 squats or lunges. If you go to the bathroom 5 to 10 times per day, and you will if you're hydrated, you will do 50 to 100 squats without adding too much time to your workout routine. Tip number 10, fidget or dance throughout the day. We can burn up to 500 calories per day simply by listening to music and bopping around to it all day long. This will help you burn calories and has the added benefit of boosting your mood. Tip number 11, tap into your community to help you achieve your goals. Save time by working out with a friend rather than working out by yourself, and then visiting a friend afterwards. Turn lunch dates into walking dates. Even develop a little friendly competition with your friend to see who can achieve a goal first. An example is challenge each other to see who can achieve 20 push-ups first. This will help to support your goals and hold you accountable as well to reaching them. Final tip, tip number 12, when going out to eat, just remember that restaurants often serve 3 to 5 times a serving size. Therefore, have fun, indulge, but maybe eat half of the plate of food rather than the whole plate at the restaurant. Bring some delicious food back home to enjoy later. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why diets fail. If you've tried to go on a diet and have fallen off, you're not alone. Many, many, many people have started on diets and may have even achieved short-term success, but fall off for a few reasons. I'm going to list some reasons below. The diet is too restrictive. Two examples of this are the Atkins diet and the vegan diet. The Atkins diet eliminates a whole food group, and that tends to set people up for failure because most people they don't want to give up carbs long term. That's just the truth. If the Atkins diet, so if you are a diabetic, the Atkins diet has worked for you, you've done this long term, you love this Atkins diet, and it's not causing bad consequences for your cardiovascular health, that's one thing. Most people, though, it's an extreme diet. And there is a reason why we eat carbs. It's the fuel our brains need to work. Unless you're diabetic or practicing abstinence from sugar, you don't need to be afraid of carbs. If you are diabetic or practicing abstinence, then that's a different story. And yes, it is helpful for you to be more mindful of carbs. In terms of the vegan diet, if that is aligned with your values, your philosophy, your spirituality, you've done it for a long period of time, you're getting all your nutrients, I 100% support it. If you're choosing the vegan diet just to reduce your calories and you're not fully aligned with it, it is a setup for failure. So other example of restrictive or diets that fail is, trying to starve yourself. So that's obviously not sustainable. We need food to give us energy. No one wants to starve themselves. It's not sustainable. I do want to make mention that there is a difference between intermittent fasting and starving. Intermittent fasting is simply choosing to eat during certain times of the day and choosing to allow your body to rest and digest the other times of the day. You can do different combinations of intermittent fasting. The one I do is 10-14. This means I eat for 10 hours of the day and allow my gut to rest and absorb for 14 hours of the day. This really is just normal eating, as like normal eating in the 1950s when we had less obesity. I don't even know why it's listed under intermittent fasting. But you can do different combinations of other intermittent fasting, such as 8-16, 4-20, or other ways of doing it. The benefits of intermittent fasting is it reduces the organ fat that can accumulate as we age. My waist circumference used to be 36 inches, for example, and in taking care of my body and in using intermittent fasting, I now have a 30-inch waist. So to recap, find what works for you and stick with it. Let go of what is working for everyone else. Repeat your own personal success stories and celebrate your wins. Use the same principles of time management that you use to build other parts of your life. Kill two birds with one stone, set yourself up for success, and get your community involved. Recognize that if getting healthy were easy, we would not have the preventable health troubles that we do in America. It is challenging, but show up for yourself every day and you will achieve your goals. If you want to learn more about the mind, body, soul approach to getting healthy, you can check out my website at healthtransformersmaine.com. I have free informational videos right here on YouTube as well, Health Transformers Maine. On my Facebook page, I often list different articles of research I have found to back up my approaches to health and wellness, if you are interested in taking a deeper dive. So thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next one.